The Dead Sea.
The Dead Sea.
The Dead Sea.
The Dead Sea is receding at an alarming rate.
It could almost disappear by 2050.
We're getting to this point of no return. We need it now. We have 2 years.
They have a lot of money, a lot of power.
We are at the verge of an ecological disaster with no means of stopping it.
Every voice can make a difference, and every second counts.
Less than 10 years ago, families and tourists all over the world would drive along this road next to the Dead Sea in Israel to visit En Gedi Beach. Today, it's a husk of what it once was. Over 7,000 sinkholes are rapidly and unpredictably appearing along the coastline, swallowing infrastructure. And as a result, the Israeli government has closed off most of the shoreline, including this section of the road. I'm here at the southern basin of the Dead Sea at Ein Bokek Beach. This is actually the lowest point on Earth at 430 meters below sea level. This is where all the tourists go. Most people here don't know this, but the area they're swimming in right now isn't naturally a part of the Dead Sea. It's a special artificial pool that's actually meant for mineral mining. The Dead Sea every year dries up more than a meter. The water is pumped and sustained here just for tourists. And every year, the landscape surrounding the Dead Sea changes dramatically. So how is it the Dead Sea looked like this in 1931 and today like this? Our story actually starts 141 kilometers above the Dead Sea at the Sea of Galilee. For thousands of years, the Jordan River has carried fresh water from the Sea of Galilee to the Dead Sea.
No water is coming into the Dead Sea because the Jordan River, the majestic, holy Jordan River, all the rivers and creeks that are going into the Jordan River have been dammed. In Syria, Lebanon, Jordan, the Palestinians, the Israelis, we're all to be blamed. Back in the 60s, 70s, it was considered okay. We have water, we need them to drink, and we need it for agriculture, so it was legit.
That's Oded Rahav. He's the founder of the Dead Sea Guardians, an international movement for saving the Dead Sea. The Jordan River dams that have turned the sand to soil has reduced water flow to the Dead Sea from 1.3 billion cubic meters of water to only 100 million cubic meters of water a year.
In the Middle East, when you hold water, it means you have power, okay? And power here is something in the Middle East. You are the master, you dominate.
In 1967, water use and diversion was arguably one of the causes for the Six-Day War between Israel and the Arab nations of Egypt, Syria, and Jordan. Today, disputes over water still continue between Israel and Jordan. And as dams stop water from entering the natural northern basin, factories are pumping the water out.
In the Dead Sea, you have also the potash company. The Dead Sea works when they extract minerals, and they also take water from the Dead Sea to the evaporation plant.
Pumps like this one here are used to drain water from the northern basin to the southern basin. The shallow 2-meter evaporation pools are used to mine potash, bromides, and magnesium, sucking them up from the seafloor and processing them at their industrial complex.
I think the government, the Israeli government, in order to prevent this decline, to demand compensation. If they take a cubic meter of water, they need to bring it back. It's not that they're going to run out of business if they're going to pay for this. And they are able to contain this environmental price, which they are trying to avoid, of course.
Nadav Tal is a hydrologist at EcoPeace Middle East. They are a non-profit organization trying to find resource solutions for the most water-stressed region on Earth. As it stands now, according to a 1961 concession with the Israeli government, the Dead Sea Works has a legal right to use the water and resources of the Dead Sea without any environmental safeguards in place.
I'm not saying that we need to close them down in order to prevent them. No. We want the industry to continue. We're aware of their benefits, but we think it's a disgrace that they never were obligated to pay something significant.
Right now I'm heading to meet Ben Zaken. He's the only person in Israel given special military permission to give boat rides on the Dead Sea. Where we're gonna go now, the landscape is otherworldly and at times can be very dangerous. You're only really allowed to go here if you're a scientist, researcher, government official, or if you go with one.
What we're going to see today is actually explanation about the Dead Sea. So we're going to understand the uniqueness of the Dead Sea. We're going to understand why it's drying up. We're going to see sinkholes, and we're going to understand why sinkholes happens. That's what I'm going to do. I'm going to educate you about the Dead Sea. But the Dead Sea is not slowly retreating. It's fastly retreating, you know. It's a centimeter a day. It's that much a month, you know, and it's that much a year.
By 2050, or by when you're saying, what will it look like here?
Well, the sea is going to recede. The sea is going to drop in another 100 meters. When the sea will shrink, the evaporation area will shrink, making the air unbreathable. The water will be so corrosive that you wouldn't be able to go in. Now, don't forget that the Dead Sea is also one of the main income from tourism, because every tourist that comes to Israel will be in the Dead Sea. If we do nothing, we are at the verge of an ecological disaster that will affect the whole region from Mozambique till Turkey. You know, you can't really say, okay, I'll deal with it later. There is no later. It's now. You know, the later is now.
Seeing it up close and in person, the landscape is so alien, it's hard to believe you're still on Earth. One thing you can't help but notice is that the sinkholes are everywhere.
Why we have sinkholes? Because the sediment layers can go deep down as 4 kilometers. And fresh water are going through the sediment layers, they are melting them, creating a cavity. When the cavity gets big enough, the ground above it will not hold it, it collapses. And this is why we have sinkholes.
So is there really no hope for the Dead Sea? A previous plan to refill the Dead Sea, called the Red to Dead, would have transported water from the Red Sea to the Dead Sea, but it was officially rejected in 2022. The current leading plan is the Northern Plan.
So the Northern Plan was actually presented a few months ago to in the Knesset, what we say, in the Parliament, an Israeli Parliament, and now we have a change of government in Israel. Okay, but I'm happy to say that this is the plan that is now on the table. Only thing is, it's not like you just plug it and you play.
The idea is to fill the Sea of Galilee with desalinated water, that they reverse the flow of the channel through the national water carrier that used to bring water from the Sea of Galilee to all of Israel. Since today we are using desalination, we don't use the Sea of Galilee.
We should protect this sea because we, first of all, ruined it. And wherever you break, you make sure you fix. And that's nature. You don't play with nature.
Politicians and politics has nothing to do with the environment. And now it's time to act. It's enough talking, it's enough investigating, everything is there. Just go and do it.